Everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another week of daily energy draws. Things have been a little bit hectic and busy around here, so we didn't get to Monday's daily energy draw. But even though it is the evening on Tuesday, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna do this thing. Um, I'm laughing at my hair because you can see all my gray hairs, and I usually can hide it in my bangs. But today was another hectic, busy day. I had a beautiful healing session. I was catching up on client readings, and I just kind of threw my hair back. But if that's a sign of what ascension does to you, it's gray hairs, right? So let's see what we have. Do make sure that you check out the Sacred Union special messages that is going up on the channel right now. I've been channeling about the choice point. I've been channeling about how detaching actually moves your connection forward. Did not realize that when I was called to detach from my divine masculine, but that's the guidance that I have received since then. And I feel like it is so important, and I've come to understand that the collective is collective energy. There are so many clients and friends who have been experiencing the same thing. It might look a little bit different as far as your specific scenario, but we're moving into sacred union, and right now it kind of might look like a clusterfuck, for lack of a better word, because you might not be in communication with your divine counterpart. You might have actually blocked or been blocked by your divine counterpart, and you're like, well, we're not even in communication. How can we possibly be moving into sacred union? But this is all for a divine purpose. So have faith in that and have trust in that, and I did do a recorded reading so that you can kind of understand what is happening. I will talk a little bit more about that in future readings as I'm called to, so stay tuned for that. If that's not resonating with you, it just means that you are not there. Feel free to disregard it. But for those of you who are experiencing that, I want you guys to understand from a higher perspective exactly what is happening. The 3D is the illusion that is so important to understand, that what you're actually seeing, it looks like bullshit on the 3D. But you have to go within and trust in your heart, trust in your faith, trust in your own knowing, have faith in your own knowing that things are moving. You have to believe in the love. And what's actually happening is it's allowing the freedom, because this love has to be free. It's allowing the freedom for the love to be brought into this connection in a free flow of love. In equal reciprocity, for justice to be served, because these karmic cycles are closing out, have closed out, and what's actually happening from that is it's things are coming into balance. That's what's happening at the moment. Things are coming into balance, and it's creating a rebirth. And even if you don't see it just yet, know that things are still aligning, and go within your heart to feel that. But go and check out the recorded reading. Everything hopefully will be explained there, and we'll talk about that more on the recorded readings. But there will not be a live stream this week. I apologize for that, but things have just been, time's been getting away with me. So I just want to make sure that you guys get a reading for the 12/12 portal, the full moon portal, and these dailies and everything else that you need. But I don't think we're going to have time for a live stream, but we'll be back next week with that. Okay. Even though it's late here, let's get a message for Tuesday. Take the messages as they resonate with you. Don't bother about the timestamp. That's just for like organizational purposes. So Tuesday, what do we have for Tuesday? What do we have for today? What message do you have for today, Spirit? Well, what just flipped over, but caring connections. Aren't we just talking about that? Yeah, okay. So these other cards flipped over. This was the only one that was face up. These two flipped over, and what is it but storm warning and yin yang? Yin yang has been coming out for me quite a bit as a symbol for sacred union. What they have been showing me are the two pieces coming together, and I don't remember which is which. I don't remember which is divine feminine, divine masculine, but these pieces do represent masculine and feminine energy. And what they had been on a couple of the daily energy draws, and I think some of the other readings as well over the past few weeks, what they had been showing me was the pieces split apart, now coming back together to form the complete symbol, to form the complete circle. They have always channeled it to me as two parts to one whole. That is what divine counterparts, true twin flames, are. They're two parts to one whole. And this is the parts completing the whole. And we even have the 22 number as divine partnership. Now, it might feel a little bit rocky. It might feel like there's some chaos and confusion going on. And that's also why I did that recorded reading, the Sacred Union special messages, because I want it to be understood what's actually happening. Because when you look at it from a 3D perspective, it might look like breakups. It might look like your person went back to another partnership. It might look like addictions. It might look like poor behavior. It might look like something disruptive to the connection. But what's actually happening is whatever is happening in the 3D, paradoxically, it's actually bringing you back together. It's actually bringing you further into this caring connection. And you see how here, okay, they just pointed me to the numbers here. You have a new beginning. You have a new foundation now. The 1 being a number of beginnings, 4 being a number of foundation. The 1 and the 4, they're saying makes 5, which means a change is happening. What's happening is the wheel is turning. That wheel of fortune is actually turning. You are in a cycle of change now. You have closed out the karma, and now you're in a cycle of change, which is bringing in a new foundation. This is justice being restored to the connection, balance in love, the equal flow of love. And they're showing me this again. This connection is the infinite love. Love Infinity is a poem I had written. Infinite love. It's the infinity sign. It's give and receive, you and me and you, us together. This is the constant flow of love within this connection. And you're coming about it now for this fresh start, for this new beginning in a much more balanced, harmonious way. They're emphasizing caring connections, where before there might have been toxicity within this relationship, not due to the toxicity between you two, but because of toxicity that was coming up between you two. The two of you aren't toxic in and of yourself, but it was everything that you were triggering, all of the past, all of the karma, all of the baggage, all of the wounding, all of the past life scenarios that you've been through, all of the mindsets, the shift in consciousness that had to happen. That was all of the toxicity that was coming up between you two. And in a way, they're telling me it was repelling you two. But now that you're clearing all of that, what I like to call soul sludge, because it feels very dense and it feels very heavy within you, now that you're clearing that, what's happening is you're coming back together, being pulled back together, being brought back together. And it just feels so divine. I wish I could explain this to you. It feels so, not just magnetic, but just so divine. It's like the universe, the entire cosmos has arranged for you to come back together. And it just feels so beautiful because you're meant to come back together. And not in that 3D sense of fate and serendipity and destiny that we've kind of corrupted the meaning of that, not in that connotation. This is so much more magical. This is so much more ethereal. This is so much more divine and pure than anything that we've ever imagined. It's this coming back together again, in this caring, harmonious connection. But it might feel a little bit rocky right now. It might feel a little bit uncertain right now. It might feel a little bit like, I'm seeing this in the 3D, we can't possibly be coming back together. You can't trust the illusions. You have to trust the truth of your soul, because the ego likes to breed on fear. The ego likes to breed on control. The ego likes to breed on expectations. So that's why we talk about surrendering the connection, so that you can allow the connection to breathe, so that you're not trapping it in this container of what you think it should be, so that you allow it to become what it already naturally is, what it already divinely is. So if you do feel like you're experiencing this on the 3D, know that it's because this is coming together. It's because things are dismantling. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Things might be dismantling in the 3D, in your physical world. Your relationship, your connection might even feel like it's dismantling. But it's so you can both come into greater alignment within yourselves. And as you come into greater alignment within yourselves, you naturally come back together as two parts to one whole, You're kind of the missing piece. Like you're whole on your own. It's very important to understand you are whole on your own. But you see how there's the light and the dark and the light. You're each other's missing piece. And when you come together, it's like the wheel starts turning. It's like everything starts turning. When you come back together, you make each other better. You make each other better. It's not that you're not fine on your own. That's that codependency. You've cleared that. It's not that you can't be happy in your life, but you know that you're better together. And that's what this caring connection is all about. That's what this union is all about. Because when you come into sacred union, and I have a whole playlist here on the channel that I asked you to check out. I think it's something like channeled messages. We talk a lot about what sacred union actually means, the power and beauty and energy of sacred union, how it's not just affecting the paradigm of this planet and raising the vibrations, but it is affecting the evolution of the entire universe as you come back together with your true divine counterpart. And so that's what's happening right now. It might feel a little bit like dismantling, but it's so that you can come into alignment within yourself and then come into alignment with your divine counterpart in this perfect, where am I? In this perfect, beautiful flow of love. Beautiful, amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and record the rest of the daily energy draws. I cannot wait to see what comes out for the rest of the week, especially with the 12/12 full moon portal that's coming up. It is a full moon in Gemini, which is the lovers in the tarot deck. It's the sign of the twins. It's the Gemini twins. This is big. It is big. We have been channeling that for the past few weeks. So if you are new to the channel, please make sure that you check out any of the past readings, especially the daily energy draws that call to you. Please check out the channeled messages that really dive deep into what it is to be a divine counterpart, what it is to come into sacred union, what does this all mean, and we're going to be diving deeper into ascension going forward. So we have some announcements coming up towards the end of the year, so I'm very excited to share all of that with you. Thank you guys so much for your love. Thank you guys so much for your support. I am sending you guys so much love, so much light your way, and we will see you tomorrow.